92%. That's the profit margin on a service a woman in Dallas who charges $180 to perform. She shows up with a $60 brush kit and a shop vacuum, spends 35 minutes in someone's laundry room, and drives away with $165 in pure profit. No storefront, no employees, no inventory to speak of. She books 3 to 4 homes a day and clears close to $14,000 a month, and most homeowners never even know this service exists until an inspector or an insurance adjuster brings it up. After studying the small businesses with the highest profit margins relative to what it costs to start them, I found 11 that almost anyone can start with a few $100s, that stay tiny on purpose, and that generate real income precisely because they stay tiny. A couple of these will sound too small to matter. One will challenge the way you think about what a real business is supposed to look like, and the last one on this list runs on a problem that never goes away, no matter what the economy is doing. If you only remember one of these, remember that one. Let's get into it. Business 11, mobile dog grooming. There are more pet dogs in America right now than there have ever been, and almost none of their owners enjoy giving them a bath. A mobile groomer shows up in a van fitted with a tub, a dryer, and clippers, parks in the driveway, and finishes a full wash, trim, and nail service in under an hour. You charge $70 to $120 per dog. Shampoo, conditioner, and a few blades run you $5 to $10 per appointment. That's a profit margin north of 85% on every single dog. Do the simple math. 5 dogs a day, 5 days a week, at $90 average profit. That's $2,250 a week, roughly $9,000 a month. Your overhead is fuel and water. Here's what nobody mentions about this one. You're not really selling a bath. You're selling the fact that the owner doesn't have to wrestle a wet, unhappy animal in their own bathtub. Once you groom a dog well, you become that dog's groomer for life, because most owners would rather do almost anything than repeat that fight themselves. Business 10, gutter cleaning. This one sounds like a chore, and that's exactly why the margins hold up. A ladder, a leaf blower attachment, and a pair of gloves is close to the entire startup cost. You charge $120 to $300 per house, depending on the size of the roof. Your only real cost is your own time and the occasional bag of trash fees. Profit margin sits around 90%. A 2-person crew can clear 4 to 6 homes in a day, which puts a single crew at $600 to $1,200 daily. Here's the detail most people skip past. Clogged gutters cause foundation damage, and foundation damage is expensive enough that homeowners who understand the risk will happily pay twice a year to avoid it. You're not selling clean gutters, you're selling insurance against a much bigger bill later. And once a homeowner books you once, they tend to book you every spring and every fall without you ever having to ask again. Business 9, bounce house and party equipment rental. You buy one inflatable bounce house for $600 to $1,200. You rent it out for $150 to $250 a day. It pays for itself in 5 to 8 rentals, and after that it's almost pure profit for years. Your only ongoing costs are a blower, occasional patch repairs, and gas to deliver it. Margins on a paid-off unit run above 90%. A single operator with 3 or 4 units can book multiple events on the same Saturday, since delivery and setup take under an hour each. Here's the part that surprises people. Weekend demand is so consistent, birthdays happen every single week, that you can often book the same unit twice in one day if you're organized about timing. You're not renting plastic and air, you're renting a stress-free birthday party to a parent who doesn't want to plan one from scratch. And here's something worth sitting with before we go further. Businesses 11 through 9 all share the same quiet feature. None of them look impressive, none of them would make a good headline on a resume. But every one of them solves a problem the customer could technically handle alone and simply doesn't want to. If any of these are starting to sound almost too simple to work, drop a comment right now and tell me which one you'd actually do. I want to see if the numbers change your answer by the end of this video. Business 8, holiday light installation. For roughly 6 weeks a year, this business prints money, and for the rest of the year it barely exists, which is exactly why almost nobody builds it seriously. You charge $300 to $900 to install lights on an average home and $1,500 or more on larger properties. Lights, clips, and a timer cost you $80 to $200 per house, and the homeowner often already owns the lights themselves, which pushes your material cost down towards zero. Margins on labor-only jobs regularly clear 85%. A 2-person crew can complete 2 to 3 installs a day during peak season, which means a 6-week window alone can produce $15,000 to $25,000. So why don't more people do this? Most installers also offer takedown in January for another fee, and the same client rebooks you automatically every November without a single new sales conversation. You did the hard part once. After that, it's a standing appointment on their calendar. Business 7. Mobile bicycle repair and tune-ups. Bikes sat in garages for years, and nobody thought about them until they suddenly needed to ride one again. A tune-up costs $50 to $90 and takes 30 to 45 minutes with a basic toolkit you can carry in a backpack. Parts for common fixes, brake pads, a chain, cables, run you $5 to $20. Margins land around 80%. A mobile mechanic doing 6 to 8 tune-ups a day at a coffee shop or apartment complex can clear $2,500 to $3,500 a week. Here's the reframe. You're not fixing gears, you're removing the one excuse standing between someone and actually using the bike they already paid for. And apartment complexes love having a scheduled bike day because it turns you into a recurring vendor rather than a one-time repair guy. Still with me? Good, because the businesses get smaller and stranger from here, and so do the margins. Business 6. Emergency lockout and rekeying service. Someone locks their keys in the car or the house, and in that exact moment, price stops mattering to them. A basic lockout service charges $75 to $150, takes 10 to 20 minutes, and costs you almost nothing beyond a set of tools you buy once. Rekeying a home runs $40 to $80 per lock-in materials against a $150 to $250 charge. Margins on both sit comfortably above 80%. A single operator answering 4 to 6 calls a day can clear $6,000 to $10,000 a month, working odd hours most people avoid. Here's the detail that matters. This entire business runs on being the fastest, most available option in a moment of mild panic. You're not selling a new lock, you're selling relief, and relief has never been price sensitive. Business 5. Furniture and flat pack assembly. Somebody buys a wardrobe, a crib, or an office desk, opens the box, looks at 40 unlabeled pieces and a diagram in 6 languages, and gives up within 10 minutes. You charge $60 to $150 per piece depending on complexity, and your only cost is a power drill and your own time. Margins run close to 95% because there are no materials at all. A single person can complete 3 to 5 assemblies a day, which puts monthly income between $6,000 and $10,000 for someone booking steadily. Here's what nobody says out loud. This business barely requires marketing because the demand already exists the moment someone clicks buy on a piece of furniture. You're simply the last step of a purchase they already made, and they'll gladly pay to skip the part they dread. Business 4. Chimney sweeping and inspection. Most homeowners forget their chimney exists until winter, and by then a blocked flue is a fire risk, not a minor inconvenience. A standard sweep and inspection runs $150 to $300, takes about an hour, and your equipment cost is a few $100s in brushes and rods that lasts for years. Margins land around 85%. A solo operator doing 3 appointments a day through the fall season can clear $10,000 or more in a single busy month. Here's the part that keeps this business alive year after year. Many insurance policies and home sales require a current inspection certificate, which means a portion of your customers aren't choosing you out of preference. They're required to hire someone, and you're simply the one who answers the phone first. Business 3. mobile tire repair and roadside puncture service. A flat tire turns a normal day into an emergency in about 4 seconds. A patch or plug job costs you $2 to $5 in materials and takes 15 to 20 minutes. You charge $40 to $90 depending on location and time of day. Margins run 90% or higher. A mobile operator answering calls through an app or a simple local number can complete 6 to 10 jobs a day, which puts monthly income in the $8,000 to $14,000 range. Here's the pattern repeating itself again. Equipment cost is tiny, the emergency is real, and the customer's alternative, waiting an hour for a tow truck, makes your price feel like a bargain no matter what you charge. Business 2. Drone photography for real estate and roof inspections. A decent drone costs $800 to $1,500 and pays for itself within the first 10 bookings. Real estate agents pay $150 to $300 per listing for aerial photos and video, and roofing companies pay $75 to $150 per inspection to spot damage without anyone climbing a ladder. Your cost per job is essentially battery charge and 20 minutes of your time. Margins clear 90%. A single operator serving both industries in the same week can book 3 to 5 jobs a day, which adds up to $10,000 to $15,000 a month. Here's what separates this one from the rest of the list. You're not selling photos. You're selling a faster, safer way to see something from an angle a ladder never could. And once one agent trusts your work, their entire office starts calling you too. And now we arrive at number 1. The one from the very beginning of this video. The one with the 92% margin that fits in a small tool bag and out-earns businesses with an actual storefront. Business 1. Dryer vent cleaning. Lint builds up inside a dryer vent every single time it runs, and a blocked vent is one of the leading causes of house fires nobody thinks about until it's mentioned. A standard cleaning takes 30 to 45 minutes with a brush kit and a shop vac that costs under $100 total. You charge $120 to $220 per home. Materials cost you next to nothing, mostly the cost of the trash bag you fill. Margins land at 90% or higher. A single operator doing 4 appointments a day, 5 days a week, can clear $12,000 to $16,000 a month. Homeowners who book once almost always rebook every 12 months without being reminded, because the fire risk stays in the back of their mind long after the appointment ends. You're not cleaning lint, you're selling a good night's sleep, and that's worth far more than the price of the visit. Now step back with me for a second. Every business on this list is small, every one is a little unglamorous, and every one is absurdly profitable precisely because of that. The margin isn't high in spite of the business being simple. The margin is high because the business is simple. Low overhead means more of every dollar stays with you. Low competition means you set the price instead of matching someone else's. And a problem that keeps repeating itself means the customer comes back without you spending a cent chasing them down. Not one business on this list needs a degree. Not one requires a big loan or a room full of investors. They require a vehicle, a small kit of tools, and the willingness to do something other people consider beneath them. Let me tell you about 2 people. Priya spent a year building an online coaching brand. She had the logo, the website, a content calendar, and a course she spent 4 months recording. 14 months in, she had made a little over $3,000 total and was quietly looking for a job again. A man named Raphael, same age, same city, bought a $90 brush kit and a shop vac and started knocking on doors offering dryer vent cleanings for $150. His first appointment took 40 minutes. He didn't have a logo. He had a phone number written on a business card he printed at a copy shop. Within 7 months, he had a rotating list of 200 repeat clients booking him once a year, plus a steady stream of new referrals. He was clearing $13,000 a month with 0 employees. The difference between Priya and Raphael wasn't talent or effort. It was that Raphael picked something boring, started small, and let the repeat business build on itself, while Priya picked something exciting and ran out of time before it ever caught up to her costs. A good business solves a problem people are genuinely willing to pay for, in a way that keeps working without you reinventing it every month. Every business on this list does exactly that. The customer isn't paying because you convinced them. They're paying because the alternative, doing it themselves or living with the risk, is worse. Research on self-made wealth in the US has shown for decades that most people who build real financial security don't do it through anything flashy. They do it through plain, repeatable businesses that most people would never bring up at a dinner party. That pattern hasn't changed, and there's no reason to think it will change anytime soon. So the real question isn't which of these 11 has the best margin. They all do. The real question is which one you could realistically start this weekend with what you already have. A vehicle, a small kit, a willingness to do something that won't look impressive on paper but will put real money in your account every single month. If this video changed how you think about small business, hit the like button. It costs you nothing and it helps this reach more people who need to see it. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns of real businesses that real people are actually running. And tell me in the comments which of these 11 surprised you the most, or which one you'd start first. I read every comment. See you in the next one.